the first level is called the surface. So the first entry says, Patrick and Gary are distant cousins. It's basically referring to a scene in SpongeBob where Patrick's parents revealed that they showed a family Patrick's family tree, and then in Gary, and it shows that Gary and Patrick are distant cousins, I guess. So the next one says, the SpongeBob movie takes place at the end of the timeline. So basically, in the SpongeBob movie, it shows that SpongeBob has way too many things, and if they people added up the months, and it basically just adds up to the end of all of the SpongeBob stuff being released to whenever all the SpongeBob stuff canonically, it takes place at the end of everything. Canonically. So this one says Squidward is depressed. Squidward is depressed. This is referring to the fact that Squidward wants to kill himself because of all this stuff that people are because SpongeBob and Patrick are annoying or something. I don't really know. We made it to the next level. This one is the level 2 under the water. The first thing is bubble blowing is a metaphor for smoking. Basically, you're saying that SpongeBob and Patrick like doing it, and it's addictive for them. They like bubble blowing. And you know what lines up with that? Smoking. Yep. Got your ass. I got your ass. I'm very smart. Next. Goofy Goober ice cream is a metaphor for beer. Jeez. Okay. We're going there. Okay. Basically, like, this means that it's addictive for SpongeBob and Patrick. They like it. They like doing it. Also, there's a scene in the first Mario movie where SpongeBob is drunk because of ice cream. I think. Yeah, we're like, wait, what? And this one says, Krabby Patties are made out of crab meat. What the fuck? Here's how I can confirm this. Here's how I can say about this. There's a scene in the movie, not in the movie, in the show where Mr. Krabs has a Krabby Patty for the first time and says, so that's what I taste like. And also there's a Robot Chicken sketch about this. Yeah. Next is, I'm not reading that one yet. Patrick cloning. There's an episode where Patrick destroys Bikini Bottom with his karate chopping, and then he rips off his arm, and it makes another Patrick or something. Next is SpongeBob's suicide. I don't know what this one means. I've tried to figure this out using my brain, but I don't know what it could mean. Next is Red Mist Creepypasta. This basically is that one creepypasta where Squidward kills himself, but also there's a video of that, basically what fan rendition of what it would look like. There's multiple things about this that exist on the internet. Really interesting, guys. You gotta see it. Or not, I don't care. Next is... No, we already read that one. SpongeBob and Patrick are the same age. So basically, like, it's confirmed that SpongeBob and Patrick were together at birth, basically. Which would make the Camp Coral not fucking make sense. Would make the Camp Coral show not make sense at fucking all. Yeah, next is... Jesus Christ. SpongeBob watches porn on his TV. This is like this is referring to that one scene in the show where SpongeBob is watching a sea anemone on TV, and then Gary comes in. And he's like, and then SpongeBob says, "Gary." Yeah, you're not seeing. No, stage. Sorry, fuck. Level 3. Level 3. Level 3. The almost like the middle of the ice, somewhere in the middle of the iceberg, like right under the underwater. I don't know how to describe it. I don't really know what to call this. So this one says this entry says squirrels are common underwater. This is not true in SpongeBob. What the fuck does this mean? I think the person who made this might have a brain injury or something. But what I think this means is basically they thought that the fuck that SpongeBob that Sandy's fucking family visiting SpongeBob was just a normal. They were like always there. I don't know what that means. Next is, oh my god, I really need a. Hold on, give me a sec. I have to think about this one. This one's called This one says Mr. Krabs has cheated on Mrs. Puff. I know what this means. Basically, like Mr. Krabs had Mr. Krabs's daughter is Pearl, who is a whale. So that means that Mr. Krabs must have cheated on Mrs. Puff with a whale of some kind. Whoa, Mr. Krabs started dating with Mrs. Puff after he already had Pearl, bro. So that doesn't really make sense to me. So this one says SpongeBob has a crush on Sandy. Well, it's implied in the show that SpongeBob has a crush on Sandy because they've had multiple encounters where it's implied that SpongeBob likes Sandy really much. Next, SpongeBob is about 30 years old. This means I think the person who made this thought that just assumed that because the show is 30 is about 30 is kind of old. SpongeBob would be that old. Yeah. Next is fuck no. Red Mist is canon. That's just not true. Well, actually, I know what this means. I think that basically like there's a scene from maybe deleted scene from the show in an episode called Random Land, SpongeBob in Random Land, where Squidward is opening a bunch of doors, and one of the doors has Red Mist Squidward in it. So that's where I think this guy got it from. Next, the games are canon. No, the fuck they aren't. I don't think they are. What the fuck does this mean? How are they? There are stuff that ties into the games, but I don't know if that's true. Like, what the fuck? That's really weird. Next. Squirrel jokes racism metaphor. In the episode called Squirrel Jokes, basically all these fish are fucking making fun of Sandy because of something SpongeBob did. And it kind of ties into racism. It's basically like racism because Sandy doesn't feel together with anyone because they're all against her because she's different than anyone else. Yeah, see, that's right. That's like fucking racism or something. And this one says, Mrs. Puff's husband is dead. Basically, there's a scene in the show where SpongeBob says, where Mr. Krabs says, where Mr. Krabs said, what happened to Mr. Puff? And then SpongeBob says, she doesn't like to talk about it. Yeah, then it shows Mr. Puff's corpse as used as a lamp or some kind. Level 4. Almost the bottom of the iceberg. Almost the bottom. Truth or Square game takes place after the first movie. I haven't played it, but there's some things that say that it might. Or something. I don't fucking know. I don't know if this is even true. I'm just going along with what it says since I didn't do any fucking research for this. Yeah, it says that there's some stuff in there that ties that makes it seem like it takes place. No, the fuck, I don't know. I was a teenage Gary deleted scene. This one means that this one is saying that there's a scene in that episode where Squidward becomes Gary. It actually shows him. There's a deleted scene where it actually shows how he became Snail instead of just cutting straight to it like it does in the actual episode. Next, appearance in Phineas and Ferb. This one is basically like there's a scene in Phineas and Ferb. Hold on, let me find it real quick. Editor, show it on screen. You don't have to actually. Editor, show the appearance in Phineas and Ferb. Basically, there's a scene in Phineas and Ferb where Phineas finds a star in a starfish. It's how to find a sponge in a starfish, and it says you can't make anything funny out of that. There's nothing you can make out of that, or whatever. I don't fucking know. Next, Jesus Christ, SpongeBob gets hired for a porno. I believe there's an episode where SpongeBob gets hired and he gets Shut the fuck up! Shut the fuck up! I believe there's an episode where SpongeBob gets start cleaning some dude's fucking back or something, and that's interesting. This could be referring to something else, but I don't know what it could be referring to. This one is SpongeBob reproduces asexually. Sponges do that, so that they assume that SpongeBob would do it too. SpongeBob doesn't have a penis because they wouldn't put a penis on a character. So they just assume that he reproduces asexually, I guess. Also, do you know the top tier meme? I'll play it in a second, okay? You know the time where SpongeBob splits up into multiple different SpongeBobs? Yeah, Totter. This one. That meme. Yeah, he basically he splits into multiple different SpongeBobs, and then he mitoses or something. This one says Squidward is a talented artist. This refers to the fact that Squidward has multiple different art pieces in his house and he spends time on them and stuff. That's all I can really say about this one. I'm not really smart. This next one says SpongeBob. I'm not fucking reading that. Jesus Christ. SpongeBob has pubic hair. What the fuck does this mean? Why I tried to remember what this means. I don't know what this one even means. Hell nah, I don't know how to explain this one. Maybe someone else can make an Iceberg video trying to explain what this fucking one means, but I don't know. Next is Nicktoons series is canon. What the fuck does that mean? SpongeBob is a Nicktoons series, so it's canon to itself. Either talking about I think it's either this or it's just talk. I think it might just be talking about the Patrick Star Show. Yeah, it might be talking about Patrick Star Show or Camp Coral. Camp Coral isn't fucking canon. It's canon to the movie. If it's talking about the fact that Camp Coral could be canon, that's not true. It's canon to the movies, but it isn't. It's canon to the third SpongeBob movie, but it's not canon to the actual show. Oh, I know this. We have made it to the bottom. Hold on. 2, 3, 4, 5. We have made it to level 5, the bottom of the iceberg. This entry says Camp Coral timeline paradox. This is referring to the fact that some of the stuff in Camp Coral doesn't really match up with the stuff in the actual show, since Camp Coral is supposed to be like way back in time, basically. Yeah, some of the stuff doesn't really match up with the timeline, so it feels like it's a separate timeline or something. It matches up with the movies. I mean, with the third and fourth movie with the new movies, but it doesn't actually match up with anything in the actual show. Next says, Mrs. Puff's husband is in Shell City. This is basically saying that how they killed him and put his body in Shell City, and they're using him as something or something. If you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. Okay. Next one says, Patrick has brain damage. Patrick is stupid in the actual show, and it seems like he has brain damage or something. That's where I think like they're getting that from. That might be true. This next one says, seasons 5 through 8, Patrick is a clone. You know, there's an episode where Patrick starts destroying stuff, like I talked about earlier, and and at the end of the episode, he cuts out of his arm, and it grows back, obviously, but it becomes another Patrick. So basically, they assume that this is the same Patrick that was the clone for season 5 through 8. Next says, Jesus, I'm not fucking reading that. Squidward gets burned alive. There's a scene in the show that was supposed to be in the episode One Last Bite, where Squidward activates the Krusty Krab security system and gets gas poured on him and gets burned alive. But it was removed because of 9/11. Okay, and this next one says, I'm not reading that. I'm not reading that, bro. Karate is a metaphor for sex. That basically is referring to the fact that Sandy and SpongeBob do that a lot, and they enjoy doing it. Okay, I don't feel comfortable talking about this. And okay, next, Chum is mad at fish people. I know I can explain this one. Basically, you know how Chum in real life is made out of fish, but it would make sense because that would be why the fish why none of the fish in SpongeBob want to eat Plankton's chum. Yeah, because it's actually made out of fish. That's I think I see the connection there. Why they wouldn't eat chum, because it's made out of fish, and they're fish. Next, Battle for Bikini Bottom Robot Patrick Easter egg. Battle for Bikini Bottom Robot Patrick Easter egg. I know I got something about this. In the original SpongeBob SquarePants Battle for Bikini Bottom, interacting with SpongeBob TV lets you change channels. While watching the TV, a scene plays featuring Robot Patrick and Plankton, serving as a humorous Easter egg and hint to the robot plot. What the fuck? Next, Squidward is not mentally stable. This entry is referring to the fact that Squidward seems like he's paranoid or something. Is he constantly looking at SpongeBob and Patrick or something? Yeah. And we have made it to the final level called The Abyss. Level 6, The Abyss. I'm not reading that, bro. I'm not reading that. This one says, SpongeBob gets arrested for owning CP. This is basically referring to an SNL skit where a bunch of important political figures basically just fight cartoon characters and they win, and basically SpongeBob gets locked up. Also, that's actually because of that, Tom Kenny isn't allowed to fucking voice act in any things as SpongeBob without Nickelodeon's approval or anything. Yeah, that. Next, Triton is movie Neptune. Basically, like I'm pretty sure this means that. So basically, the Neptune in the show is much different from the one in the movie. So they just so people just thought that was since he looks different, that was actually King Neptune's son, Triton, and he just looks like that in the movie, and that's him in the movie. That's actually him. Next entry says, Patchy is mentally insane. Basically, like this means that so Patrick Pirate basically just sees hallucinations of SpongeBob everywhere, and this man he's fuck insane because he has fuck schizophrenia or something. Next entry, the final entry, Bikini Bottom was created by nuclear radiation. This is basically saying, do you know Bikini Atoll? So Bikini Bottom is basically based off of Bikini Atoll, a real place that would undergo nuclear testing. There was a nuclear testing site basically, and all the fuck and the Bikini Bottomites look like that because of nuclear radiation. Also, there's an episode where the moon is green and it makes all the Bikini Bottomites become normal fish. And we are done. I hope you guys enjoyed because I know I did. And I'll see you in the next one.